Hey, should we get this thing going? You guys ready? Hey everybody, welcome to our Real Estate Investors Meetup. If you are here to talk about your problem with alcohol or drugs, you're in the wrong, well, maybe you're in the right spot, but we're here to do real estate tonight and maybe share a beer while you're here too. My name's Tyler. I'm part of your host group tonight. You're at an event hosted by the North Idaho REI team. We are a team of agents that work with investors here in North Idaho. We put on these events so that you can help each other, support each other, learn from each other, gain that knowledge and that teamwork that you need to work on your real estate investing. Because as we all know, real estate investing is a teamwork, team sport. Thank you. Hi, Nish. Welcome. Good to see you. We always like to start these events. By the way, thanks for all coming tonight. It's nice to see a big crowd tonight. Maybe we hit on a good topic that everybody's excited to hear about. So we always like to start with introductions. Introductions are fun because we're at a networking event. So talk about say your name, obviously, and then tell us what the group could bring to you and what you could bring to the group, because we're here to help each other, and that's how we get to know each other. So Nick's going to do a great demonstration about it. Nick's our team leader on the REI team, and show us how to do a good introduction, Nick. Yeah. Do I need this microphone on? Are we good?
It's already on.
Okay. So you've been recording me all night?
See the green light?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Nick Beverage. I'm a real estate agent at the Coeur d'Alene office at Keller Williams Realty. So what I can do is I can help you if you guys are looking for anything in the Coeur d'Alene area. I've done a lot of real estate transactions, both personally and helping people out. I've gotten into a lot of recent flips. I've done a lot of rentals over the last few years. Sold a lot of rentals recently, and now I just want to focus on growing my real estate team and making sure that everybody that comes on the team has plenty of investing experience. So Tyler and Caitlin are on the team, and they have plenty of experience. So you guys need help out, help me out. That's all I got.
Hello, my name is Kyle Greenwood. I'm a novice investor, and my wife Emma, we just got married.
Woo! Yeah!
We find off-market deals, and we work directly with sellers. And if anyone wants to get on our list for off-market deals, if you're looking for a fix and flip or rental, talk to us, and we'll let you know where you can find stuff.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm also an agent, so part of my business is helping people buy and sell their houses, and the other part is trying to find houses for us to buy, and just trying to get motivated again, because we were just in Mexico for 3 weeks, so I feel like...
You just got married too? Congratulations.
And I would be one, so let me know if I come.
Welcome back.
Hey everyone, my name is Sam. Not an investor looking at flipping houses, looking for investing options for duplex and finishing remodeling. And yeah, this is my first time here, so I'm just going to learn.
Where are you working on a duplex at?
What's that?
Where are you working on a duplex at?
Just kind of on the base of the slides here.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We're kind of right up the base.
Yeah. Awesome. Hi, Louise.
Hi everyone, I'm the one that has the original accent. I am Louise McNeil. I have recently moved back to Sandpoint after a segue into a different profession. I'm now the designated broker for a new office going to be setting up at Sandpoint. An office going in the powerhouse. I am also a real estate instructor. I met one of your speakers today when he had to sit and listen to you for 2 hours for 2 weeks. And then for 3 hours. So I'm back. I'm looking forward to meeting you all in business. I'm looking forward to doing my own business too. And I think it's really good. Thank you.
Thanks, Louise. Keep us going, Amanda.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda. I'm appreciate it first. Next to my husband, and he's kind of the brain novice investors, and I just kind of care about overalls and do the work with them. So my first time here, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Offet. I'm Nick. Hello. So we haven't been here that much, but we've been in town a couple of years. We have a little duplex running a short-term rental, and then we also are just finishing up fixing up a duplex in Spokane. So we're definitely looking for another opportunity. Sometimes we go towards a primary house, but it's hard to disassociate when we see rental opportunities pop up. So.
Don't let Lincoln and Amanda fool you. They are building an empire. They are amazing, and they're going to come and speak about house hacking here someday soon. So, yeah. Coop's our speaker tonight, but say hello, Coop.
Hello. You'll hear more about me than you probably want to know in a moment.
Cool. Jenny.
Hello, everybody. I am Jenny Hewitt with Serco of Coeur d'Alene. So we offer restoration work, which is really good. If you have real estate properties, if you have any fire, hopefully not, but we can board up any fire restoration. If you have mold or floods, anything like that, we can take care of it. So we know those disasters are an inconvenience, and when you have an inconvenience, we put the convenience in for you.
And I'm going to interrupt you, Tammy. Caitlin over here is going to pass around a sign-up sheet, and that sign-up sheet is going to come your way. And we'd love it if you just put your name on there and your info. Even if you've been here 1,000 times, put it on there because somebody will call up and be like, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so. And then I'm like, oh, what? Do you remember what meeting you came to? And then I'll pull up that sign-up sheet and look that person up or pass that info on. We don't give that out to anybody else except unless somebody kind of inquires about somebody in the group. And we don't sell your information or anything. So it's a safe place to put your info, and it helps us stay in touch with you. So cool. Thank you. Sorry, Tammy, go ahead.
That's perfect. I'm Tammy. I'm with Home Investors. We have an office out of Coeur d'Alene. We currently have several properties off market between Idaho, Eastern Washington, Western Washington. So if anybody's interested, I can send that list out to you. Looking to specifically learn what Coop has to say today. I am unfamiliar with subject 2, so I'm specifically interested in learning that part of it. And just glad to be back.
My name's Alan from Rathdrum, Idaho. Really new to this, just here to gain some knowledge and wrap my head around it. Maybe find a mentor to help me do my first deal.
Thanks for coming here from Rathdrum. That's where I used to live. Love Rathdrum.
I'm Stacy. I am also pretty new to the investing world. I used to be a real estate agent. I let my license go, which was a mistake, so I now have to do real estate school. But I'm just here to learn about the investing part.
Yeah, welcome.
Hey everybody, my name's Brady. Day job, I run Invicta Web Design, doing website design for small, medium-sized businesses. But I just recently got my first rental all set up, so now I'm just waiting to get a tenant. So if anybody knows anybody who's looking for a rental, it's a nice 3-bed, 2-bath. It's in the trailer park, but it's one of the nicer ones. So 3-bed, 2-bath, brand new house, like super good.
And where's it at?
In Sago.
In Sago, okay.
Yeah, just down in Conica there.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody knows anybody looking for a rental, I'm looking for a rental. So thanks.
It's awesome.
Hey, I'm Bryce. I'm going to put myself kind of in the same boat these folks are in Alan and Stacy. Just getting started, I found myself in a unique position where it's like, why are you not in the game, dude? You know, I don't have this obligation, I don't have this problem, you don't have these hang-ups, you've got this background in construction, so here we go.
Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Everybody, my name is Jeff Hurst. I'm on the beginning steps of my real estate investment journey, so I'm here to learn from Mr. Coop as well as the rest of you guys, and just glad to be here. Thanks for Tyler and Karen for putting this on.
First time, Jeff?
Here?
Yeah.
No, Jeff's an old-timer.
Old time. First time. I have not pulled the trigger yet on my first transaction.
Okay.
And we appreciate you bringing a guest and a friend, too. Thanks, Jeff. Hey, Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien. I'm new to Sandpoint. Spent the summer here just in a kind of a short-term vacation rental and decided to stay. I went to Denver, but I'm renting a unit here from Tyler and Caitlin, and met them and decided to learn more about their team and this model. I've got commercial real estate experience, but I was really interested in getting into the residential side. So, it's good to see everybody.
Yeah, Louise might be your instructor here. So.
Hey guys, I'm Caitlin. I did a thing. I'm here with Tyler, real estate thing, and let's see. I'm looking for a flip, and I'm looking for more clients, and snow up on the mountain so we can go skiing.
Oh yeah.
And I have this book. Becky Herman's not here. 2 months ago, she kind of started this little book club passing thing that we're going to be doing. This book is Who Moved My Cheese? So it's a really great book on kind of a silly way to look at change. And so I found it really helpful. So what I have is to give this to somebody who promises to read it and be back next month and pass it on to the next person. So if you want to be the person to take the book this month, come talk to me after meetup.
It's a commitment because it's like cheese. You got to move it around every month. So take it and read it. It's good, but make sure it comes back. Joe just came back from an Amish event, so welcome, Joe.
Congratulations. My name is Joe Hughes. I am here to learn, and I am here to help people in any way that I can.
Thanks, Joe. You were our speaker. Joe, were you our speaker last month? Was it last month? 2 months ago? Okay. Thank you. You were great. Keep us going in the back row. Hi, Sean.
Hi, my name's Sean Dolan. I live vicariously off the couple rentals I have. A couple around 90. And most of them are paid for, so this is my social outlet. Otherwise, I'd stay at home and stare at my wife all night.
I'm sure she'd love that.
My name is Matt King. I want to be like this guy when I grow up. I come to these meetings often when I can. I've learned something when I come here. Just got my first Airbnb live this summer here locally. It's doing great. So yeah, looking at network, specifically looking for properties that are in qualified opportunity zones. Not necessarily just here in Sandpoint, but other areas as well. Yeah, looking forward tonight.
Well, welcome back, Matt.
Thanks.
Can I put you on the spot for a sec?
Sure.
Say something about your Airbnb and like, I'm sure you probably killed it this summer, but like, what are you doing now? And
Sure, yeah. So we self-manage, my fiance and I self-manage our Airbnb. Went live July 4th. Took us a while to get the house built. It was kind of a stressful process trying to build a house through COVID. Even finding a builder was super challenging. But we're glad we did it. We got through it. We were pretty much completely booked all the way through September. We would have like four days a month where the house was vacant. So it was really crushing it. We knew October would be slow. It is slow. But now we're starting to get bookings for the holidays. And we're also hoping for snow and getting some of those last minute bookings. Book on the ski. I'm a wildland firefighter by trade. My first successful real estate deal, I made more money than I made 10 years fighting fire.
man,
So that kind of got me hooked. This guy's also a firefighter. I think he's hooked now too. We used to talk about real estate a lot, so I'm super passionate about real estate. Yeah, I've met some great people in this group. Want to get on some lists and find some more deals. Keep going. Yeah.
awesome. Thanks, Matt, for saying more.
Hi, I'm Kimmy, and I am a transaction coordinator. So we have for your real estate deals, I can help you with your file. So
That's awesome. Do you like all kind of North Idaho? I guess you can transact from anywhere, but just like Idaho mainly or other state? Okay. Cool.
I'm Jason, and very creative real estate investor, and I'm helping with funding.
Cool.
Hey everybody, John Mishimoto here. I'm with Farm Bureau Insurance, and my friends call me
Nish! Hi, Nish.
I love having friends in this group. It's phenomenal, and many of you are clients, and some of you are friends to me. So I look forward to getting to know everybody. What I'd like to say is that guess what? More people live in Idaho than used to. Guess what? We've had a record number of car accidents already, and we haven't even hit winter yet.
Whoa.
Guess what? It costs more money to repair a car than it used to for the average expenses. So we are on top of it, but we are, I Idaho-based company, the largest insurance company in Idaho, that's based in Idaho. And what that means is if you have some homes that are a little bit more on the difficult side to insure, and I say that because rates are going really high for the property, the houses out on property, we call it fire protection classes 8, 9, and 10, but that means that they're far away from a fire station. I can get on the phone, I take pictures, I go out and visit the property, I can negotiate with my underwriter, and most of the time they'll agree with me it's an insurable property. So if you have some properties you're investing in, or you have buyers that are coming in, they want to buy something, so they have to borrow money so they can have a loan, which means you have to have insurance, give me a call, I can probably get it done for you. Thanks.
Remember, real estate investing is a team sport. I'm proud to say that Nish is on my team, and so I hope that you guys put together your team, and he's the only insurance agent I think that's here tonight that shows up to these events. So help, yeah, it's good.
He's my agent too.
Oh yeah, right on. We love Nish. Hey Decker, how's it going?
Yeah, Decker, we're long-time investors, and I can't say I've been doing anything recently real estate related, but I'm always learning.
I don't think I've ever met your wife before. I always heard you were married, but yeah, I'm glad you brought her.
Since you introduced me, I should have stand up.
Keep us going back there. Yeah. Welcome your first time. And so, in case you missed, well, you did miss it, but tell us more about what you're looking to do, like real estate investing, or how the group can help you maybe. What can we do as a group to help you? Cool. Awesome. How'd you hear about us? Okay. We're glad you're here. Yeah. Gentlemen, got two more gentlemen in the back there.
My name is Andrew Simpson. I'm a wholesaler, so I'm here. Meet people and buyers and others.
And there's a wholesaler coming up behind you, right next to you, Jesse, that we just walked in. So, and his dad.
I'm just interested in learning from you, but hopefully learn something.
Thanks for coming, Dad. What was your name?
Rich.
Hey, Rich. Awesome. Did I get everybody? Anybody got anything else they want to say? Hey, Caitlin's going to get out that book tonight, but here's the deal. I still owe Nish lunch from this, and we've come up with a plan to make that happen. So I'm gonna double down on it. Here's what we're looking for: review on Google. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe to, or just be friends with Caitlin on Facebook, and you'll win the prize. The prize is I'm going to take you to lunch, and I'm a Rotary member here in Sandpoint, and I figured out like, hey, if you are looking to meet people in this town, if you are looking for a way to get involved. It's a great lunch. We meet every Wednesday at Tango Cafe here in the Sandpoint City Center, and I get to bring guests. So come and be my guest one week, but you got to do one of these things because we're looking for help with our promotion as well. So I'll promote you and your business if you help us out. So sound good? Does that make sense? Cool. Cool. And if I'm on the way of reminder, yeah, perfect. This is our brand new TV, courtesy of Coop. So it's a little bigger than our last one, which is nice. And we're going to figure out a way to kind of get it out where everybody can see it here in the future. But it just showed up tonight with no legs, so it's propped up against the wall. So we make it work. We always like to just throw out a couple deals to kind of get you thinking on what's going on out there. I was just perusing what's on the market. Hey, and I found out, guess what? There's new construction is back in Priest River, and not just any new construction. Nick, you'll be interested. You probably already know this. Dom Construction is a home builder who they build really affordable homes here all over North Idaho. They have finally got going on their Two Rivers development in Priest River. Brand new home, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. How much is it? Anybody want to guess? $299, that would be sweet. $389, all right? Get you a brand new home in a nice new subdivision in Priest River. We haven't seen those prices in a while for new construction, so I think it's an opportunity that you might want to consider as an investment, getting a brand new home for under $400,000. It's been a while since we've seen those. They're back. So I just wanted you guys to know that. This one's 1,311 square feet, and they have several models that they build and are putting in this new development. So aren't you glad we didn't buy those lots in that development? Cool. Another opportunity that I thought was kind of fun. You've always wanted to have your own mountain river cabin. This deal up the Pack River kind of looked intriguing to me. Nick, no, you're smiling. Tell it. Did you go see it?
I think I'm doing everything to keep Amanda from live on the Pack River right now.
She wants to live on the Pack River?
I love being there.
Well, here's your opportunity. This one is a little, and it's cheap. Let me look. It's 1.7 acres. It's got riverfront property. It's $349,000 for a cabin, and you have an RV spot. You could set up a tent. You could set up a yurt. You could put an RV on the land. You could rent out the cabin. If you kind of run your own little resort vacation operation out here on the Pack River, you would kill it, I think, in the summer and I think in the winter too. It's pretty amazing out there. So
How far is the private?
this one's way up there. So I think that's why it's fun. It's not like you're driving in, like it's not like you're walking to the Samuel store every day for snacks. This one's a little ways up the Pack River, not too far from in the road, I think, because I was scouting it out. Anybody been there?
Yeah, it's after.
Joe.
So you got the snowmobile parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's where the road stops. They do grade it or groom it. All season long for snowmobiles, so it is a snowmobile in.
Are you sure?
Pretty darn sure.
Louise knows too. Okay, thank you. I knew it was a ways up there. It makes it even more of an adventure. Think about it. Think about it. You put a little snowcat. People park. They get in their snowcat and drive up to their cabin. People dig it. They would love it. I'm kind of interested now. So.
But Amazon doesn't go there.
What doesn't go there? Oh, Amazon won't go there? Even better. Nobody will find you. Cool. Just two fun deals that I saw as I was looking around for something to show you guys tonight. So if you ever have questions on any properties here in North Idaho, give our team a call. We'd love to help you, scout it out with you, go on a showing. We want to help you find deals. So, cool. Let's do a little bit of housing market information. I've got, before we get to this, we always like to kind of update our stats. So who's our lender in the room tonight? Did we hold a meetup with no lenders in the room? That's crazy. Yeah, that is a first. Yeah. All right. So in case you missed this announcement, which we showed this last month, but this is really cool. They came out with a new rule. 5% down payments for multifamily. So that means if you are living in the multifamily home, up to 4 units, you can now do a 5% down payment on it. That used to be 25%, I believe, as a down payment. And so duplex, fourplex, Nick and Amanda live in half of their duplex. They could have put 5% down. And so they're probably like, dang it. This is a really good opportunity for those of you that want to house hack or live for free. Really great investing opportunity. So talk to your favorite lender about that. But we've been tracking mortgage rates here for a long time, all the way back to May of 2022 when it was 5%. And all we got to do is jump to November of this year. So last month, we were at 7.57%. What are we at now? 7.76. That is the average 30-year conventional mortgage rate as measured by Freddie Mac. They do a survey every week. And I actually pulled this yesterday, and they come out with a new one on Thursday, so I should have double checked. I think it went down a little bit this week. I heard like a half percentage point for now. See what happens. So I saw that people just jumped on refis all of a sudden, and like housing or mortgage applications picked up like all of a sudden. So just takes a little bit of dip. We'll see. Thoughts on that? Questions?
I thought that was the drop.
No, like, well, because it dropped. This is old. This was already old because this is last Thursday, and so this week it dropped a little bit. I saw, and I should have put on a new one there, but it didn't come out. It doesn't come out till late on Thursday. So I was working on this yesterday. Cool. This is a National Association of Realtors, a little snapshot. We kind of talk about national market. I'm going to go all the way to the front here. September 2023 is our last snapshot. Sales, 3.96 million. Well, what does that mean? That means that we are down from the month before 2%, but we are down from the year before in September 15%. A lot less homes transacting on the market right now, at least on a national scale. Median sales price, $394. $394, just remember that number. What does that mean? It's actually up a little bit. Median sales price nationally has just kind of creeped up a little bit. Months of inventory, 3.4. That means it takes some months to churn through all those homes for sale if they were to all sell. How does that compare with our market? Let's see. That is our Coeur d'Alene one. Nope, we're a little bit more up to date here. That is, all right. We use the Coeur d'Alene Association of Realtors because they come out with a nice little snapshot that's easy to use. Median home price, $525,000 here and they pull that data from single family home transactions here in North Idaho. Down 4.5% from last October. So nationally, been nationally up a little bit, remember, here in Idaho, we're creeping back down to the national average. We're just becoming average again. So it's down, we're down here. Let me go back to, so here's what's interesting. September was 525, that's the same. August was 525. July was 524. June was 517. So everyone, if anyone's telling you what's going on in Idaho, it's really just kind of, at least median home price wise, which is not the best statistic of what the market's doing. It's holding steady price wise. But homes sold. Let's go back to October of this year. 1,856 homes sold in Idaho so far, but that's down 18%. So that's huge. That's a lot less homes selling here in our area. Why are less homes selling? Lots of reasons, right? If you have a 3% mortgage, would you sell your home? Probably not. Where would you go? And you're probably not going to get the price you want, and buyers are definitely not getting the price they want because they want a deal because they're sniffing for a lowball offer. Make sense? Here's the fun part. Look at this. October median home price down 4.5%. What about Shoshone County, Idaho, our favorite investing mecca here in North Idaho? We are giving you this stat from now on. $305,000 in the median home price in Shoshone County. What's that say on the bottom there? It says up 10%. Can you believe that? In Kootenai County, well, the market overall, we're down 4.5%. Shoshone County up 10%. That's crazy, right? Because here going back, and if you go backwards, in September last month, that was 7% year over year increase. So where's all the money going? Where's all the home buying going? What's going on? Silver Valley is where it's at. Well, you guys know. The kings of the Silver Valley are all sitting over there. And if you're looking for a rental market, how's the rental market in the Silver Valley? Mm-hmm.
Probably better than here.
Probably better than here.
Pretty good car dealership.
Thoughts, questions? Is that news to you? Like, Idaho's kind of sliding, right? But like Shoshone County, just on a tear. Like it's like 2020 all over again in Shoshone County. Joe.
Days on the market.
Days on market. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm glad you brought it up.
The arrows flipped. We're looking 25% longer in.
So what that means?
They're selling quicker in Shoshone?
No, it's taking longer. 83 days on market, and they're saying that it's taken almost a third longer to sell a home in Shoshone County, but the prices are going up.
And then
How's that?
The bond boundary is going up too, is that second? Okay, that's good. So they're on the market 25 days longer. Housing prices haven't moved a ton. What is that telling you? As realtors, is it a buyer or a seller's market right now?
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's consult with this. Because whenever someone asks you is a buyer or a seller's market, it really depends. What market are we talking about? Are we talking Shoshone County, where you're looking for a cheap house? Or are we talking here in Sandpoint, where you're trying to sell a waterfront home? It's a vastly different market, right? So, go back. Pull up your sheet here. Does anybody need to have one of these in front of you? I got a couple extras. I think these are good little snapshots. If you go to the back side, it breaks it down by price. So and if you want the just quick and dirty version, it even gives you a cheat sheet. It's got market conditions. It says seller, seller, buyer, balance, seller, seller, balance, balance. That's where you could kind of get a quick snapshot to answer Joe's question. So what's the median home price? At least here for Cooney County, it's $525,000, right? So if you look at that $500 to $599 price range, there were 265 homes that were active in October. Last 6 months of sold listings was 46. Current months of inventory is 5.76. That's balanced. And Nick Beveridge always says this. This is what Nick always says. 6 months is historically that balanced market. If it takes six months to sell a house, or churn through the inventory, I should say, then it's not a buyer's market, it's not a seller's market. And that's being shown right here in these stats too. What's funny is you've got $175,000 to $199,000 price range that's at 7 months of inventory, and they're calling that balanced. I would assume that is like the mobile home category more than anything, and those can be kind of difficult to sell sometimes. So you still see a lot of seller markets. Isn't that interesting? Like everything you've heard, everything you read on the news, like the market's in a really big tanker, right? Well, maybe not. You still got a lot of seller markets here where sellers are on the kind of strong side of it. Buyer's market, if you got $1 million to spend, you are in luck because it is a really strong buyer's market. So keep that in mind. For those of you needing $1 million primary home, we're here to help you. So thoughts on, let's see, what else? Are you talking about like sold listings versus last year versus this year? Yep.
I think it's important to point out that you are protecting the CPA and MLS stuff. There are some brokerages that do not put their listings in the quarterly MLS.
That is correct. And I can bring you more Bonner County direct results. It's just really hard to pull any good data out of there. I can do that. I'll do that next month, is to bring you more direct Bonner County data. Sometimes these visuals are really quick and fun and easy to look at. Do you want to give us some stats that you've seen lately in Bonner County?
I will not at this moment.
Yeah.
I do know because I'm a very stats-oriented person.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of database stuff. So what you have to be aware of, so there are some brokerages that decide that they are Sandpoint-based, they will borrow Boundary County, and that's where they post their listings on the Selkirk MLS. If you were to take data from Selkirk and mix it with Coeur d'Alene and take out the duplicates, it's an interesting concept.
Okay. Yeah, it's just real hard to get some good visuals out of our local MLS software that I use. But I will bring some of those next time. No, it's good.
It's not a criticism.
No.
But I have, as I said, there are some beautiful and some really interesting stats that come out of those, of the northern counties.
Yeah, it's what Louise is saying is here in North Idaho, we have 2 MLS systems, so multiple listing service. There's a Coeur d'Alene MLS and then a Selkirk that primarily serves Bonner and Boundary County. And some listings, well, I would say most listings are duplicated in both, but there are some that you find that only in Selkirk that aren't listed somewhere else, is what Louise is saying too. And so make sure that sometimes you can find a gem that, hey, here's something for sale up here in Bonner County that's not visible to 800 other agents in Kootenai County or in the rest of North Idaho. So sometimes there's opportunities there for buyers, and I've had buyers been able to find good deals because of that. So, cool. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. Any thought?
If you're searching on like our app, like our
That's true.
app, you'll see all the seller MLS listings too. So if you're just getting listings from Flex, you may not get all the seller MLS listings.
Good point. And that's one of the things like us real estate agents do is we input this data into our local MLSs so that they do show up to Zillow, so they do show up to realtor.com, all those sites that you are your favorite and you want to go look at. It's our job to input good data into there so that they propagate out to all those sites. So, yeah. Anybody else got questions on what they've seen in the market here locally, here nationally? What are you worried about? Here's commentary. I think the rental market here in Sandpoint, in my experience, is really softer than it's been in years. There's so many rentals available, and they're much more decent prices than we've seen in the past. And what are you guys seeing out there?
When you're looking at that, do you have any rhyme or reason why that changed?
Why has that changed? It's a great question.
I think it probably changed for several reasons. I think that, or I know that there's a lot of new apartments that came online for rent.
Yeah.
Sandpoint Property Management is giving away 3 months of rent for a limited apartment in Monterey. I also don't know this, but feel that those who maybe tried the small short-term rental thing out, shifted it to long-term for the winter, and
Tim.
also people who couldn't sell their home decided to wait the storm out, hang on to it, let's rent it. In that house we were talking about over there's a house down the street that's been on and off market for a year, didn't sell, we pulled it, and now it's rent. Just because they couldn't sell it, so.
I think there's been a little bit of vacation home bust here in Sandpoint too, and so a lot of people are just trying to tie those up for the winter. You kind of said that. What?
The Pulite markets, at the beginning of the year, they held everybody's rents when they were issuing the licenses.
That's true.
So in Pulite, it became an issue for the VRBOs.
Have they resolved that in Coeur d'Alene? What was the resolution on?
Well, they resolved it to allow those who already had licenses to renew their licenses.
Right.
And then they dragged their feet and put up the licenses for those who were coming on board who had just bought VRBOs. So those who wanted to go into the VRBO market were having a harder time and they put out a lot more requirements for VRBO owners and
Yeah, go ahead.
We're in Spokane right now, so we listed a medium-term unit, and we're getting a lot less interest than we did for a long-term unit. 6 months ago, I mean, that was right off the shelf. Now it's much wider. Here.
Do you or anyone else know what the average monthly rental has been for Bonner or Coop County?
He's asking average rent just here and locally.
I feel like
I think
before I was seeing things top out like 2,700, and now I'm seeing like nice 3-bed 2 baths for more like 20.
and I think you have to like break it out, like what's a 3-bedroom or what's a 2-bedroom, what's an apartment, what's a house.
whether it's in town.
Yeah, but it sure seems like there's a lot more options under $2,000 a month than there used to be, and I think that's a good kind of way to look at it too. Like, I feel like there's kind of a threshold there that used to not be able to find anything under $200,000 unless it was like a studio or like a 1-bedroom or something. But now there's some good options out there. So.
I think you have to be better than now.
Yeah.
Take a number and throw a rental up. I tried it. So, I think you need to. Well, you were gonna rent like kind of a crappier duplex without fixing it up, and we just realized we had to fix it up. We were gonna get rented, so we have to fix it up, and we have to maybe allow a dog, and maybe get a little bit less per month than you're thinking.
And you've heard me say this many times. If you want to, a great way to make good rental income is to consider pets. People that have pets need places to rent. So it's a good, think about that in your strategy, whether you want to do that or not. Why don't we take 2 minutes? You can get up, grab a beer, grab a bathroom, and we'll get Coop set up, ready to talk. Sound good? Cool.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for having me. I want to talk tonight about 2 topics, actually. Subject to, I'll explain what that means, hopefully. And another topic of interest, it sounds like you may be able to utilize, is lease options. And I would encourage those who are considering renting their properties, consider lease optioning them out. And we'll get to all that. So that's the market we're in. Both the values are higher than they should be due to 20 years of cheap interest rates. And now we have these stupid high values, and now we have stupid high interest rates together. So that causes a constipated market. So what I'm going to try and focus on tonight is just 2 types of creative to help unclog certain situations. Let's see. All right, this chart was about what I said in regards to values being so high in the 30-year fixed. This is a kind of old chart. This is 22. I can't see it back there, but this is the values, nominal values. You see the years and years of cheap interest rates. Well, now the interest rate's coming up, but the value isn't coming down yet. So it's causing constipated market. The blue line here is the effective mortgage rate that most current homeowners, current mortgage holders have. 3.6 as of, I think this was just a couple weeks ago. And this is the current mortgage rates, which last week they went up to 8.5. I'll show a chart in a moment on the 10-year bond, and we have this little reprieve for about a week and a half, and it's getting to go back up, probably higher than that. But as you see, all these people who have these mortgages, why would they sell? So that's part of the rental problem at the moment, is these people who have 2.9, 3%, why would they get rid of that? That's an asset. Just the cheap interest rate is a huge, huge asset. So if they have to move for a job transfer, whatever, what's the D's, the divorce, death, you've heard them all. A good choice is to rent it out and keep that cheap interest rate. So that's part of why the rental market is soft, I believe. That's just another chart saying anything. You can see this, but this is, by the way, you will have my email and stuff. All these charts I'll be happy to send to you afterwards, but this is just showing how much you have to have as a salary to afford a house in certain metro areas. When I put this presentation together, I thought maybe you'd be able to see all that stuff.
Can you just throw out a couple of those numbers?
Sure.
Just for like a couple cities or?
I have to put my glasses on. Well, close to home is Seattle at $170,000. That's to afford the median price home.
What's that median?
Well, median gives the color, the level of depth of the purple is the higher the amount, but basically 500,000 for easy math. For say Denver, it's 150,000. For Middle America, it's say Memphis, Tennessee is 68. Yes. And again, I'll send you these these are off like Zero Hedge, and these are all Google accessible. All right, this is in regard to what current interest rates are making the U.S. government's payment on our national debt, which just payments on our current national debt is topped $1 trillion for the first time ever, and I may get back to this in a minute. This is a chart of the 10-year bond the past 3 months. You can see a week and a half ago it topped. And last Wednesday, a week ago yesterday, the Treasury put out their quarterly announcement of how many bonds they were going to sell over this next quarter. And they drastically reduced the amount of 10-year bond that they would normally sell. And they did that in order to get, the 10-year was crashing. So they did that in order to stop it from crashing. So we had quite the last Wednesday, Thursday of last week, we had quite a reversal. But as of today, it's already creeping back up. So in my opinion, the reason I'm going on this is mortgage rates are based on the 10-year bond. What the Fed does doesn't directly affect mortgages. The 10-year bond does. In the old days, it used to be on LIBOR, which that's more information you need, but today it's on the 10-year bond. So anyway, I'm just saying we're going to have a little reprieve for a week and a half. And I say in a week and a half, we'll be back where we were, if not higher. And it has to do with the whole bond market as a whole. Okay, yeah, I'm going to talk about subject twos, which I'll say just briefly. Subject to means taking over someone's mortgage subject to their mortgage terms. Or another way to say it is it's you taking over their mortgage. Instead of them paying the mortgage, you pay it. And in the process, you take the deed to the property. And I'll talk more about that as we get to it. And then secondly, lease options. Lease options are a perfect way to occupy those properties once you have them. And I'm going to talk about me for a second, just to give you, well, I do want to say this. I'm really, really bad about using absolutes, like never and ever, and I shouldn't do that, but I do. But anyway, most of my opinions are probabilities that are not certainties. It's just my opinion based on my experience. That's true. More and more true every day. The more I learn, the less I know. Delayed gratification, I do want to touch on this. In regards to, I've done a lot of flips. I got all kinds of scars to prove it, mostly up here. But so I know the deal of taking a piece of dump house, making it all pretty, and having a really nice payday. I did it lots and lots of times. I don't feel like that's the perfect market we're in right now to do that. I'm not trying to tell you not to or make you feel bad if that's what you feel like, but I think we're in a market now where you have to plan long term, and the subject to and lease options are part of that. So you just have to you have to concentrate on cash flow and a payday later. Okay, talk about me for a minute. That's the first house I built that I actually lived in. That's in north of Nashville. Most all my real estate experiences in Metro Nashville. Just a little bit more. I served in the Navy, got out of the Navy and bought a Serpro franchise. Sold that thing quick. Actually, not quick enough, but. And then I went into IT, became a Microsoft engineer. That was actually my favorite job I ever had. That was, if you had to have a job, that was awesome. And then my wife drugged me in to real estate soon after we built this house. And really, it's her fault that I'm here tonight. So this is the house I built and lived in during 2008. I built that in 2003, and the reason I show it is my real estate experience and everything my wife and I have built up got us to this. This house had 7 levels. It had a basement, walkout basement on the other side, halfway up for the garage, halfway up for the main level of the house, halfway up for the master wing, and halfway up for the top bedrooms, and another floor above for loft space and stuff. It was a big ass house. And I'm not putting it up there to say, how good I was. This is where I was when 2008 happened. And that's the kitchen. I have 7 kids, by the way. 2 son-in-laws, 2 grandkids. I'll say more about them in a minute. I was in this thing in Disney World when Lehman crashed. And at the time, I had two banking relationships that I did flips with. And this doesn't sound unusual today, but then it was very unusual, where I would simply email my banker the house I was going to acquire, the address, what my purchase price was, how much I was going to put into it, and what I ultimately wanted to sell it for. And within a week or so, I'd be funded through email. And like I said, that may now sound odd today, but it was super odd then. So I'm sitting in the driver's seat, tilted on a dashboard. It would like sleep 6, but I'm typing my banker, and there's no reply. This went on for a couple of days, and I called, no reply. So I said, we loaded up and went back to Nashville. First stop was the bank. I went into the bank, and the president of the bank ran away from me, so he didn't have to deal with me. That was a 08. So anyway, I'm saying all that to say that my funding, my credit was gone. So the reason I'm going into all this is to let you know that from there, I'll tell you about this in a minute. From there, I was bound and determined that was never going to happen to me again. I lost that big house, by the way. Gave it back to the bank, had to file bankruptcy. Fortunately, I was able to liquidate a lot of stuff prior to that, so I'm okay. I was okay, but my lifestyle dramatically changed, and so it was. I don't make more of it was, but anyway, I went down the rabbit hole of our money system, and I don't anybody do that. Just don't do that. Just keep your credit card and swipe it, and you'll be happy, I promise. Don't do what I did. But anyway, it led me to moving up here. I'm missing a slide. Oh, there we are. Yeah, moved to Spirit Lake, and there should be one. Oh, it's not there. Anyway, moved to Spirit Lake, started a goat farm to do raw goat milk, and that went great for a bit. And then we ran into some bureaucratic nightmares, so we moved to Chile. So this is my place in Chile. We stayed there for 4 years, and that picture you saw of my family, all of them went with me. And then we moved back here in 2017. That's our backyard. A volcano erupted about 18 kilometers away from the house. So that was in April 22nd of 2015. That was eventful. That was fun. Anyway, that's where we landed here in Coeur d'Alene. All right, so I did all that to give perspective of what I want to say and try to convey to you, just give a perspective of where I'm coming from. Back to this here, the interest rates, and people are trapped, and you're not going to. I contend that you aren't going to have any sellers sell for the hell of it in this market. Meaning, if they have an average of 3.6 interest rate, there's no way they're going to sell that just for the hell of it. Honey, let's get a different floor plan so we can hang new drapes, or they're going to have a certain need to sell. That's another chart. Oh, this is the builders. This shows who's, the yellow is existing home sales, the red is pending, and the green is new family homes, builders. So you can see who's selling homes. And the reason they're able to sell homes, there are many reasons, but in particular, is they're buying stuff down. They're basically buying people's interest rates down. That is what they're doing. You can't, an existing homeowner can't compete with that. I've run across in the Metro Nashville area, builders putting epoxy on the garage floor. They're putting in top of the line appliances and undercutting all the existing home sales. So you can't compete with that. Affordability index, it just reiterates what I was been saying. All right, so subject to. So I contend that this is a perfect market for creative because of it, all the things I've said. I did a lot of subject to, in addition to all the flipping, did some commercial work as well, but I did a lot of subject to from, I guess I really started in 01 and actually stopped really in 09. But that was definitely the favorite part of my real estate investment was the subject to. And our number one clientele was job transfers. And we tried to structure our deals and our marketing and whatever as a convenience. We never went after, we helped people who were in trouble, but subject to is really a matter of convenience. It's a way for a seller to sell quickly at their asking price and move on. When you structure a subject to properly, you're able to offset through your contracts, and if you're dealing with a good mortgage broker at the other end, you're able to offset their DTI, their debt to income ratio of the existing mortgage, so that it doesn't trash them on getting the new mortgage. And what I'm finding today, the clients I'm dealing with, the potential clients I'm dealing with, they're not getting a mortgage wherever they're going, they're renting. So it doesn't become an issue, but I'm kind of getting I'm trying to get feedback from the audience. I feel like I'm missing on the subject to part.
Question I have, how does it take care of the debt ratio? Once you take a second on the mortgage and you run it through escrow or title company where you're paying it, you're paying for the title company is paying the mortgage for them. Would it still show on their books that they still own that debt? That's not how you get the due on sale clause.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a lot of things you said there. First of all, it is a close and we take the deed. So the deed does transfer. We normally put it, we normally put it in a land trust or into an LLC. But with our paperwork, and again, working with the mortgage broker, their mortgage broker on the other side, our documents initially will show that it's being covered by someone else and not them. Secondly, if they wait a space of time, typically 6 months or more, they'll have a record of someone's paying that, not just a contract, but actual proven history.
So on their DTI, it's basically like a rental.
It's a wash. It ends up being, because we're making the mortgage payment exactly. We're not paying the seller a monthly fee for the transaction, so it's a net zero. So.
They're working with their mortgage company, they know that they're not paying it, they know that you're paying it?
Well, typically you don't want to raise a bunch of horns and say, hey, mortgage company, it's going to be us paying now, and we took the deed. I have done that, and it's never been a problem. On that note, I will go ahead and say this. I'm also part of PACE Morby's nationwide network. So I'm aware of subject to deals happening all over the country. I've never encountered a due on sale clause that was an issue. I came close to one on a property I took over where it was a first-time home buyer state-sponsored program where the down payment was funded by the state and it had to be owner-occupied. I was able to convert that into a lease option, so it bypassed all that, and that's actually how I was going to address the due on sale clause. If we ever run into that, we would just change the paperwork. We'll deed it back to the seller and take possession in a lease option type or a land contract or whatever.
When you're talking to sellers, like bring this up to them, and they bring up the due on sale clause,
How do you educate them?
Well, hopefully more gracefully than I just did. But
I talk to sellers and I'm like, so I'm gonna take over your opinion, and it always is funky, and I never.
well, the number one, you have to have motivation. You have to have a motivated seller. They may be motivated just strictly out of convenience. For example, job transfers where, one of the persons of the couple has already moved away doing the new job, and the other one's left behind, doing whatever. That's motivation.
So yeah, like more motivated sellers can be more willing to listen.
Correct. If they don't have any level of motivation, they're not going to. They're gonna list it with Tyler and hope for the best.
Follow-up question is: you said that you want to find someone that isn't in like dire straits, but is that kind of what you're saying? And I guess how do you find someone who wants to or needs to move for a job?
I was telling her earlier, and I refer to my past Nashville experience as the old days. In the old days, our number one lead generation was bandit signs. In today's value, I bought some $2 million homes off those stupid bandit signs through Subject 2. That was our number one source. Today, we haven't started direct mail, which we're going to do. We haven't started Google ads or Facebook ads yet. We're dealing directly with agents at the moment because it's free. There's no out-of-pocket expense other than my time and intense aggravation. But so anyway, what was the original part of your question?
The original question was how do you educate the seller, but the follow-up question was how do you find, or how do you know that someone needs to move for a job, or how are you?
Okay, right now, lead generation is what you're asking. Right now, I'm using Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. Each of them are different, believe it or not. They're probably 90% the same, but there's these ones that you find that only one has. But anyway, I just go looking for, I'm focused on 3.2s, ideally 2000 or newer. And when I say 3.2s or bigger, I prefer they be in a neighborhood because that's where I'm going for the median house, which is the bulk of the buyers, bulk of the sellers. But I use each of those services to look for a vacant house, which boom, a vacant house is motivation right off the bat. Then I use PropStream to see what their mortgage is, which unfortunately PropStream is maybe 70% accurate, but it does give me an idea. Once I have that info, then I will market directly to the agent and hopefully eventually get to the seller. Yeah, tell me about it. It's tough.
If I have the ability to explain it to the owner, I have three options. Say this cash offer, this would be very partial note, very full note, where we construct the deal to where everybody wins. But to be able to get that information through the agent to the seller is as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's what I'm finding is it's part of the constipation is this it's the market overall, both the sellers as well as agents as a whole, not these in here, of course, but they're stuck in yesterday's prices.
Less savvy 20 real estate agents that are in here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not these people.
No.
Well, if they can sell it
These guys are pros.
if they can sell it without going through all that, they're gonna try. So, but we might ship now, we're not selling the house in it. We're gonna have to worry about doing that.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Whole conversations with agents. You're still going to cost. That's wrapping in the deal. So I would close.
Yeah.
To be able to have that agent then relay that information to the seller is just
Yeah, you have to find an agent that's not stuck in yesterday as well as a seller that's not stuck in yesterday.
Sorry for getting into the lease much, but what percent or like ish of like agents that you've had success with know about subject to, or is it usually the ones that don't know? Because I know I've talked to you before, like sometimes they're like, oh no, definitely not doing subject to, that's illegal.
Actually, well, first of all, I want to address your question first. This is my fancy CRM, the Google spreadsheet, and it's I have over 300 leads that fit my buy box and vacant and whatever that fit that. But I lost your question again. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Would you say that the agents who are having success with know about subject to or do not know about subject to?
I know why I came here. I have over 300, so I don't have exact percentages. So I'm just going to go off what I kind of think at the moment. I'd say maybe 5%, if that, know about it. Maybe 15 are receptive and know about it, or know about it, and the rest are like, just give me an offer and I'll submit it to. And then there's probably a good another 5% that say it's illegal. Don't ever call me again. So.
How are you addressing people's equity in their house?
Well, at the moment, everybody has perceived equity from COVID. It's perceived, that's right, for now. How I'm addressing that and how people that do similar stuff is I put the equity in a seller carryback note. I'm offering 5.5% interest and 7-year balloons. I'll do a 5, but only if I have to.
So you're essentially making 2 payments. You're paying their mortgage and you're paying them.
Right.
Real quick, if anybody's working with a real estate agent that says subject is illegal, all you have to do is just say, hey, go check out your RE17 and look about halfway down the page. There's a box where you can check subject to. Is this seller financing, or is this a contract for deed or subject to? Like the real estate board is not going to put together with an attorney a contract that's illegal. So all you have to say is check out the RE17 and look for a box that says there's a subject to option. Not illegal.
Yeah. In addition to that, this is the HUD one, which you can download from HUD.gov. Google it right now, and it's anyway line 203, taking existing loans subject to. So it's a transaction type that's been around forever. We just haven't needed it since 3% interest rates. Yeah.
What are some of the risks?
For me or for the seller? Well, for me, there's hardly any. And I'll try and get into that when we talk about lease options. But for the seller is at risk that I'm going to make that payment. If I stop making that payment, it could damage the credit. So there are things that we do at closing that if we do default, they can forego the foreclosure process and get it right back. So if this part of my pitch is I say if Mr. and Ms. Homeowner, Mr. and Ms. Agent, let's just say in 5 years from now, I got abducted by aliens and I stopped making that payment. Your client's going to have that much more equity. Their credit is going to be that much more strengthened by 5 years of on-time payments. All the repairs that have been done, they get all that. All the vacancies that I pay for, they're going to get all that. So I basically focus on they're going to be in a much better position in 5 years than they are today. So, and then I go ahead.
I just want to know, so you take over their payments. Is there any other incentive, like a down payment or any other upfront money that you do with
It depends on the equity situation and the condition of the house, or the situation. If it's a perfect house that I know I'm going to be able to slam a lease option tenant in over the weekend after closing, then maybe I'll pay some. It's all about cash flow. That's the focus. Is the reason this is a perfect market for subject to is to be able to cash flow. We've talked about rental rates. Even before I got up, we talked about rental rates. They're coming down. I contend that they're going to come down quite a bit more over the next 12 months plus. On the flip side, probably in 18 months plus, you're going to whipsaw back up due to lack of supply. But anyway, they're going to continue to go down. So forgive me, my brain goes 12 different directions when I thinking all these things. But cash flow, that's what I was going for, is you have to be able to not only just cash flow, but put away for vacancies, repairs, any investment loan right now, private money, hard money, any the 5% down payment you put up, the back end terms on that are scary, they're painful. So the whole focus is to get those 3% mortgages so that you can cash flow. And so it's a good segue to talk about going to lease options. When Lehman fell, I had 70 more or less single family homes all on lease options. And I managed it all myself, which was stupid, but that's what I did. And the only reason I was able to do that is because they were all lease options. With a lease option, first of all, I never, ever, ever set anybody up for failure, ever. But I will tell you that unless you grab their hand aggressively and drag them through the qualifying process and actually close on it, they'll never do it. Oops, that's an absolute. I'm sorry. Seldom. They will seldom ever do it. I kid you not. I've had over and over thousands of dollars non-refundable option consideration, which if you get nothing from tonight, I'll have a slide for that. Write that down. That's worth the price of entrance right there. You need to have that if you're going to do lease options. Don't ever use down payment on a piece of paper. So you want that. That's money right there. Anyway, I'm sorry?
What's a typical amount?
Well, it's way more than way more. So let's take a Coeur d'Alene Place. Everybody familiar with Coeur d'Alene Place? It's a huge neighborhood in Coeur d'Alene. Say 3.2, 1,700 square feet. No repairs needed. Just move in. 10. So anyway, what I was saying is I've had multiple of those $10,000 non-refundable option considerations completely walk away from. It happened over and over.
Is the monthly payment they're making usually around what market rent is?
You can do more because they are a buyer. On that note, when I'm talking to a lease option buyer, I tell them that they are a buyer. And if they want to move in and paint the walls purple, by all means, paint it purple. But if that toilet leaks, it's your toilet. So in other words, don't call me. So they will paint it purple. Ask me how I know this.
Is that on top of, is that basically only down payment? I mean, they're locking that option by having terms you set at 80.
Yes. And you have, fortunately, in the old days, we did this, but you have to under Dodd-Frank now. You have two agreements. You have a lease agreement and you have an option agreement. So as long as that lease is good, like every single line is good, the option's good. Any part of that lease gets broken, the option goes away.
They're paying for the right to reserve the option.
Correct. So you, on that note, I always set them up on 2-year contracts. 2-year. It does a couple of things. One, you're not going to get these, especially in today's market, you're not going to get them a mortgage in a year, period, even if you wanted to. That's number one. Number two, if you lock them in on a 2-year lease, I write it in where you get to bump it, automatically bump the rental rate or option lease rate after a year. So
With that, does that provide any, like, I don't know, financial coaching, help them qualify when that option is exercised to get them across that line?
if they ask for it, yes. If I need the money, hell yes. So I used to have a file cabinet of the deals, and I would, Mama wanted a new car. It's like, okay, which one of these do I need to get qualified? So my point is, I had to actually work it to get them through it. And like I said, we never ever set anybody up for failure. It'd be in today's market, I would love to have 25 years at 3 point whatever at today's purchase price. That would be awesome. But hey, if they go through the effort to qualify, that's the deal. That's the by all means. But,
So have you thought about extending that option period to maybe 5 years rather than 2? Maybe make it a little bit more attractive this time to take over that, or to exercise that option?
yeah, that's actually not a bad idea right now because I think mortgage rates are going to go up between now and March. So I do believe that the Fed will do some crazy stuff first quarter, which will just make everything worse. If they're in a pickle, they have no way out. If they lower rates, that will trickle down to the bond market, which will lower interest rates on mortgages, which will drive up values, make everything worse. Yeah. 2-year was always our magical number that worked really well. I see no problem with 5. You do have to set a purchase price today of what you think it's going to be. That has to be clear, documented. So you do have to set that price. So it's hard to set a 5-year price. It's hard to set a 5-year price that's not going to make them have a cow when you sign documents with them. So I don't really have a percentage that I put on it. Like I mentioned, the Coeur d'Alene Place 3.2, 1,700 square feet. I feel like 10 grand would be doable today. First quarter, summer of next year, maybe not. But that is their option down payment for the option. Has nothing to do with the lease. None of their monthly payments go towards principal. The option consideration, yes. Yes, but not their monthly payment. None of that. If you give any part of the monthly payment towards the purchase price, you just melded those two agreements together. Yeah. Yeah, you need to do all you can to keep that separated. So it's, I will say on this note, because of what you just said, lease options are basically undoable in Texas. But every other state, they're fine. So.
Tony, can I say that if you do manage to work with an agent who feels this is good, the chances are that agent is going to want to negotiate their commission upfront.
Oh, absolutely. Now, in acquiring a property from a seller, we're paying the commission today.
Yeah, but on a lease option, where if they decide to rip that option, you may find that some agents, probably like Jordan, are going to say, hey, this is all very well. We have no guarantee it's going to go through. So can we negotiate something up front?
Now I agree with what you're saying, but we're not using agents for the lease option part. We're using Facebook Marketplace and whatever.
But it's a pitch you can make to agents.
Yes. Now, if an agent were to bring us a buyer, then we'll work something out. Back to what I said in the very beginning, this is delayed gratification. There isn't this non-refundable option consideration. You don't spend that. You put that away because that house is going to go vacant. That house is going to need repairs. So, you take a little bit maybe to compensate for, any kind of vacancy or whatever, but your payday comes when you do get those people qualified and you do get it sold. So that's what you're doing all this for.
What kind of percentage do you see of people that actually go through and exercise the option?
Very small. To reiterate, unless I drag them through the process, they won't do it. So.
Back to your subject two, you actually go out and buy a separate insurance policy on property versus.
Yes, yes. They stay on the policy due to the deed of trust, and the mortgage company likes to see them on there. They don't like it when they get removed. So yeah, they stay on the insurance basically. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
In a market like we have found ourselves in the past 3 years where we try to set a future value for sale, and appreciation has gone out of the roof. So there's no way to renegotiate that because you locked in their option to buy at that price.
True. Now, like I said, I did it from 01 basically to 09, which was mostly up. So that wasn't a problem. But a good portion of them, we did come down off the price in order to get them qualified.
So how would you, now, when you write these offer or write these options, how do you calculate future value? It's so crazy right now.
It's a scientific wild ass guess.
Do you collaborate with them, or you just sort of like, this is the price?
Well, I look at comps of what today is, and I well, that's why I said just a moment ago is that the ones that I did drag through and get qualified, there were a few, I don't remember the percentage number, but there were a few that I had to lower the price in order to get it to go. So I overestimated evidently when I contracted them in the beginning. But like I said, I never set anybody up for failure. Those of you who have rentals, forget who said they just built one. So you in the back, I'd lease option that thing. It'd be on Facebook tonight. You may not ever want that thing to go away. And I'm telling you, if you don't drag them through it, they won't ever exercise that option. That's an absolute. I probably shouldn't have said that.
Would you go 10% over what current market value is now in 2 years, or what's your
15 at least.
And is that, are you proposing that as payments towards the purchase?
Say it again.
So are you proposing that rental rate as payments towards
No.
the purchase?
None of the rental goes towards. There's no principal being applied to the. Just the option. Yeah, this is last month, right? He said 10% drop first month free, and he said, I think he was joking, but kind of serious. If I have to, I'll give him a laptop. So the reason I focus on rental rates and stuff is when you do a lease option, you're not a rental. You're giving them the option to own. I kind of contend we're all lease option buyers at this moment. Like, why any of you would want to get a mortgage today? I sure as hell don't at these rates, at these values and these rates. So anyway, you're giving them ownership. You're letting them paint the walls purple.
I think that's a good point. The grass over here is that they're in charge and responsible for all repairs.
Damn straight. As I said, paint the purple. But if that toilet leaks, it's your toilet. So now we do set in today's value. I think we're going to be doing it at $15,000. Any repair over 15 will take over. And it depends on what it is. I mean, if they move in on a Saturday and Wednesday the dishwasher's not working, we'll take care of that.
Do you guys ever buy houses?
No. I said that emphatically. I'd consider it if it was a perfect house. But no, I don't. As an investor, buyer, I want as much control as possible. Like, that's why I want the deed. That deed not only does it give me control, it also gives me tax write-off. So that helps with cash flow. So doing a lease option, you don't get that tax write-off. Now we are coming across a lot of properties that are owned free and clear. So we're doing seller carrybacks as little down as possible, 5.5% or less, and like I said, 7-year balloons. So.
Good question. So this has been a long time, but I was cautioned when I was asking the attorney about these options. He made it clear that there's still tenants. So if there are repairs that are needed, you can't technically push them off net. I mean, there could be some legal consequences if it ever came to that.
True. That's why I mentioned like the dishwasher. But like if you have to be working reason. What you're trying to do is if they cause the damage, you're trying to put the responsibility on them for fixing the damage.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was just told that it's a fine line because they are still tenants. You could make them want to think that they are buyers.
Yeah, as long as your documents are clear and you have them sign it 4 or 5 times. So lots of disclosures, lots and lots. So. Any more questions?
So, I mean, I guess that's some sort of, a percentage of their rent goes to principal pay down, why not?
Well, when you do that, correct.
What if you
Key
took,
point.
they don't take $100 a month out of your rent, you're paying above market rent, and I get it in an escrow account for you, and then when you go to buy, that can now be applied towards the principal and everything.
I have no desire to do that whatsoever. I don't feel like that's a need for you to have to do that. It goes back to what Sean was saying. I'm sorry? They, I tell them, just get a savings account, put the money in your savings account. I don't want to do anything to convolute my, like he said, equitable position. Yeah, and I haven't focused on that, and it's perfect time to focus on it. You want them to be a tenant when they stop paying, so you can get them out quickly. So none of this works in across the state line in Washington. It only works in red states. And when I say work, it's legal over there. It's just your cash flow is going to go really south if the first time you have a tenant that doesn't pay. And that's just going to get worse. All the blue states, I contend, that's just going to get way, way worse as we go forward in this constipated market.
How do you sell this to somebody who says the market's going to crash and I want to buy a house cheaper in 2 years? How do you lock in the price today when they're values dropping?
Well, I would say then perhaps this isn't the deal for you.
People that typically do those back option aren't going to be really great on the house. So if I say go through the same
A lot of times want to go for the fix and getting something for it.
Maybe they just got it down.
Yeah. I'm a lease option buyer. I don't want to get a mortgage today. Yeah. So. Yeah, I already said that. We already talked about it before I got to talk of all the reasons. You hit them all. Oh, yeah, I already talked about 2-year leases. That's really it as far as slides go. Jason, did I miss anything? I work a lot with Jason. He's a lot smarter than I am.
So you put this house on Facebook. What are you seeing now? How long is it usually take to sign?
Well, to be fair, I haven't closed a deal yet. Most everything I said is based on past experience. Like I said, I'm part of Pace Morby's network, so I'm aware of all these happening nationwide. I joined because of the networking. The access to money is insane. Expensive money, but money nonetheless. And just I highly recommend if any of this sounds interesting to you, this is a podcast by 2 real estate lawyers. They do it every week. I find it fascinating. I'm total geek out on this stuff. But they talk about the idiosyncrasies of closing these types of deals. It's awesome, but it's also great for credibility because if you have someone who says it's illegal, it's like, well, here, go listen to this podcast and let them listen to these lawyer geeks talk about how much fun it is to close these deals. So
I think the one thing that a lot of realtors get confused on is they say it's illegal. It's not really illegal. It's just a violation of one of the terms of the mortgage.
yeah.
Contractual thing.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Every single mortgage, I believe it's like 83 or something like that. Every single mortgage from then to now, and I forget the bill. Anyway, every single mortgage has a due on sale clause. Every single one of them. The majority of today's mortgages, that 3-point average, the majority of those are owned by Freddie or Fannie. They are securitized 12 times over. They are bundled in with 100 other mortgages. I have no on a say a B of A mortgage that's being serviced by B of A. I'd call them up and say, I just took this house, I took the deed, and the payment will be coming from us. And they will say, whew, as long as that payment keeps coming, thank you. In other words, they don't care. They do not want that house back. What they have to do in order to get a house back is a nightmare. they have to, number one, they have to pull it out of that bundle of securitization, which means they have to take money out of their pocket of money that they're able to lend out, which dramatically reduces what they're able to lend out. It's a horrible nightmare for them is what I'm trying to say. They do not want the house back. I didn't go into, and maybe in another seminar that you pay for, I'll talk about the aftermath of '08 and all the foreclosures and the banks, and that was crazy. But they don't want the house back. They have experience and not wanting the house back. So you will come across, like I said, I came across a first-time home buyer down payment assistance program. You will come across those. You may come across some small town bank. What's the smallest, you mentioned Mountain West, but what's the smallest bank in Sandpoint? Yeah. Let's just say they wrote, it's feasible that they would write a mortgage and actually hold it and not sell it, which is almost completely unheard of. But yeah. Yeah. Most of them sell it 5 minutes after the ink hit that note, so they can do another one.
If it does get called too, you can restructure and reverse it back out. There are ways to go around it.
Yeah, typically, from what I've seen in other places in the nation, it has become an issue, is you do get a 35-day, 45-day period to fix the problem. So again, they don't want the house back. Like, just do something different with the paperwork. Make it go away. That's all on video, isn't it?
It's called cure the title, isn't it? Cure the title.
Yeah.
It would actually be a notice of mortgage breach.
Yeah.
Cure title is like if you have an easement or a lien on title that they want to get rid of.
Yeah.
So how big is your team when you're doing like a subject to deal? You got a lawyer, you got title company, what else you got?
Really just, that's it. In the beginning, of course, the idea is you get it going and you bring people on, but because ideally you do want to do enough that you can scale so that there's enough of these monthly payments coming in to have somewhat of a paycheck. But each state, they'll have friendly title companies that do this stuff. You typically don't need a lawyer. The title company's done the lawyer work. Yeah. Yeah.
Will title draft documents for you in terms
Uh,
of their eligible, obviously?
If they're what?
If they're knowledgeable.
If they're not, well, of course, we're going to demand that we close at a knowledgeable place so it doesn't get screwed up. But yeah, we typically use transaction coordinators that will handle making sure all the paperwork. That's it. You asked about a team. We do use transaction coordinators because dealing with the paperwork takes you totally away from everything else. It's rather consuming. As much as I like doing it, it's consuming.
What's your goals? Your goals for like 6 months, a year?
Well, I said something pretty lofty in Coeur d'Alene a few weeks ago, and I know I could do it. I'm stuck in the middle of do I want to do it? And the reason I'm stuck in the middle of do I want to do it is because I'm leery because of my '08 experience. I'm leery of the few months ahead. I don't want to go deep into that. And, so I'm determining what I want. But if I can get away from fear, I could acquire 60 houses the next calendar year. Yeah. That's going to require me to build a little empire. So do I want to do that? Or would I prefer to team up with people? And I was telling Tammy, thank you. I'm horrible at names.
Come meet my family.
Yeah. I have enough gray hair now that I get a lot of fulfillment and reward out of just helping people. So I'm not selling anything tonight. I'm not selling you another seminar for next week. Sign here. I'm just trying to help. Tyler asked me to speak and I said, okay, I'll do it.